Hello guys, my name is Elena and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share my lately favorite recipe of chocolate chip cookies. I know everybody have a favorite recipe that they like, but as a baker you or me always on the hunt, what if there is something better than what I have. So always, if I see some interesting recipe, I want to give it a try and compare it to the ones I already have and see if it worth doing it again, or nah, I already have good enough for my family and I wouldn't bother for another one. So this one I already tried before and we actually quite enjoyed it. This is very big, thick type of the cookie. I think that's what we kind of like the most about it. And it's really very easy to make, and you can store it in the freezer again if you like and just bake a couple at a time. I think that's actually pretty awesome, so you don't have to bake the whole batch at once and eat it all in a day or two. That will be terrible. As always, I like to use my scale. If you don't have scale at home, I highly recommend an investing one. I have, it's commercial grade, it's Torre. You don't have to buy, because this is pretty heavy duty. You really don't need to have such a big of a scale for the home purposes. You can get just some small scale, just enough for your little batch of cookies or batch of cake. But I do like use scales because you will be consistent every single time. There is no room for error and I just love it. All right, so this recipe goes a little different. Usually how we bake anything, you do butter and sugar, you cream that, then you add eggs, then you add your dry. This one a little backwards. So we're gonna put our bowl where we're gonna mix all our ingredients in a scale. Make sure you zero out and let's go. So for this recipe we're gonna use two kinds of flour. We're gonna do 300 grams of regular or all-purpose. All right. So measure out. Zero your scale. And then we're gonna do 200 grams of plain self-rising flour. All right, so 200 plain self-rising. $160 grams brown sugar. And the same amount of regular white sugar, so 160. Make sure you zero up. And 160 of the white sugar. So it's about 3/4 cup of each. Okay. Pinch of salt. 1/4 teaspoon soda. 2 teaspoons baking powder. About 100 grams of walnuts, or about the cup. Whole package, I have milk chocolate chips. That's 11.5 ounce. If you like more semi-sweet chocolate chips, you can use them. I love milk chocolate chips. So the whole package, okay? And 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Okay, and we're gonna put it in the mixer and just make sure everything mixes up. All right, so this has been in the mixer for about a couple of minutes, and see what happens. It became kind of all crumbly. So all the flours and butter will incorporate it. So it looks like crumbly mess. So that's what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and add 2 eggs to it. and put it in a mixer, and we're gonna mix it just until it will all incorporate. As soon as it all comes together, just turn the mixer off. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so this is all mixed up now. See it become moist. It's still not one clump, but if you squeeze it, see it comes together. Before baking, we're gonna scoop these cookies and we're gonna put them in the freezer for an hour, a couple hours, or if you have time, overnight. Or you can leave them in the freezer and use them when needed, but make sure you wrap them up. After they froze up in the freezer, take them out and wrap it up and put in a freezer-friendly container. Make sure they don't get frostbite. But so we're gonna scoop them first. And of course, like I mentioned before, these are large cookies. So this is the scoop I usually use. It's like a little scoop. It's like ice cream scoop. So for these cookies, we're gonna use the one that's twice as big. All right, so it'll be large, nice sized cookies. So what you do, just scoop it, pack it. So it comes out like that. And go ahead, put them all in a tray. Just like so. And they can touch each other right now because we're not gonna bake them like this. They just need to chill a little bit. All right, so I got 17 cookies out of it, but again, they will be large size, so it's pretty good. So go ahead, put them in the freezer, like I said, for an hour or two, and we will be back. All right, so this is cookies right from the freezer. This is actually next day. I decided to bake it next day, so it'll be fresher. So go ahead and put them on a tray. Space them out, maybe a couple inches apart, because they will spread like that. And the ones you don't want to bake today, you can wrap them up and put them back in the freezer and keep them until you're ready to bake again. Okay, and this babies goes on a preheated for 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for about 16 minutes, or take a look at them. Sometimes they may need a little longer, depends on your oven, how it bakes. So at least 16 minutes and we'll check on them. All right, so this is our cookies all baked up. Look how nice and big and thick. And all the goodness inside.